Previously on 2023 NJ.
Headed out for some pre-game drinks. Now, I just want it to be known that I would never do this back home. In fact, the thought of making this video bored me to tears too, which is why I found some subject matter to spice it up a bit.
Look at this. I'm doing callbacks to previous videos now. As I established in the Super Bowl video, I'm not a big fan of sports, and I don't really go out of my way to catch games live. So, you may be a little surprised when I tell you that, at the time of recording this, I've already been to a couple of baseball games this year.
Oh, that's a baseball!
And the surprises just keep coming, because I really enjoyed it too. A lot more than I thought I would. The footage you are seeing now was the first game I went to. It was the Phillies against the Blue Jays, a month or so into the MLB season. Back in the Super Bowl video, I said this as well.
Unlike the UK that only really focuses on soccer, the US has different sporting seasons, which is why the sports fans here have to diversify. So someone who supports the Eagles, for example, will probably support the Phillies when the baseball season rolls round.
And that's exactly what we were doing here. All the Eagles fans from the Super Bowl I was with were now throwing their support behind the Phillies. Generally, the MLB season will run from March to October every year, so with it getting into full swing, that also meant that summer was right around the corner, and you could tell the weather was getting better because of all the tailgating that was going on beforehand. Tailgating is where you and your friends meet up in the car park to have a drink, something to eat, and generally chill and hang out before the match starts. Some people go all out for it too, loading up their cars with barbecues, games and beers. Props to these guys who bought their own cornhole boards. We don't really have tailgating in the UK, but then again, we don't really have the weather for it either, even during what should be our summer months. After that though, we made our way to the stadium, Citizens Bank Park. It really was a fantastic place. Spirits were high wherever you went, and they only got higher as the night went on. I took a walk around during the game, and regardless of where I went, I always got a great view of what was going on. As you can tell then, just like the Super Bowl, I wasn't super invested in what was going on. I mean, I wasn't exactly glued to my seat, but it seems like baseball is that sort of game, where you can just get up, walk around, grab some food and drink, and not really miss anything. That being said, while I was walking around, I did miss an important event that happened on this evening, but we'll get to that. I need to explain what Dollar Dog Nights are first. For the first couple of home games here at the start of the season, hot dogs are sold for $1 each, and we aren't talking about tiny bite-sized sausages here. These are chunky frankfurters, and Phillies fans go completely bananas for these. Now, in the Super Bowl video, I showed off just how far some fans will go at a soccer match. But if you thought that was crazy for all the wrong reasons, then Dollar Dog Nights are crazy for a whole different set of wrong reasons. On a previous Dollar Dog Night this year, the stadium erupted into a food fight. Some reports say it started out as someone just trying to eat as many of these frugal franks as they could, and the crowd were trying to help by donating their own. However, one thing led to another, and as you can see, those dollar dogs became meaty missiles. I've seen other reports say it was just a free-for-all, and some Phillies fans were just straight up removed from the stadium. When I've looked into Dollar Dog Nights in the past, I've also come across the fanatic wielding what can only be described as a hot dog howitzer, a bazooka of buns, a sausage slingshot, a kielbasa cannon. Okay, I'll stop. So, there was a news story about a glizzy Gatling gun. There you go. Okay, I'm done. There was a news story about a woman who got blasted in the face with this thing. And you know what? I'm not a mean-spirited guy. At least, I don't think I am. And I don't want to minimize the pain this lady experienced, but I cannot watch this with a straight face.
With a strange story involving the fanatic, a hot dog, and a head injury. On Monday, the Green mascot shot a free meal high into the stands with his iconic cannon, hitting a Montgomery County woman square in the face. And here's a sentence I never thought I'd say, but if you thought a bun and a sausage couldn't really hurt anyone, frankly, think again.
Monday night at the Phillies game, she got hit right between the eyes by a hot dog fired from the Fanatics hot dog cannon. The injury's bad enough she got sent to the emergency room.
On the night we went, though, this happened. This was what I missed as I walked around. Look at that foil fly. According to some stats that I lazily Googled for this video, the stadium has a capacity of just under 43,000. That being said, on this night, over 44,500 people were in attendance. This stadium was fit to bursting. You could argue that everyone had come out to see the fighting Phillies, but you also can't deny the pull of these gravitational glizzies. During the night, 59,314 dogs were sold, and I am proud to report that I bought 10 of those. And I just want to take a moment to say, there is something magically hilarious about walking up to a man who is wearing a hot dog hat and seriously asking him for 10 hot dogs. The interaction only gets more hilarious when said hot dog man, who is completely unsurprised by the ordered amount by the way, begins to load up your arms high with these scrumptious sausages. When I bought them, I was so hungry and I thought it would be easy to down 10 glossy glizzies over the course of the evening. But after just 3, I realised the mistake I made. My eyes were a lot bigger than my stomach. In the end, I was able to scarf down the 10 delectable dogs, but I had to treat it more like an endurance test than an actual enjoyable activity. The night ended perfectly though, when the Phillies beat the Blue Jays 8-4, and the Liberty Bell rang out in victory. The Phillies won their match, and despite my gluttony, I was able to keep my hot dog dinner down too. Win-win.